Ultimate revenge on my cheating girlfriend and boss. So basically 5 to 6 months ago, my girlfriend cheated on me with my own boss. It was terrible and soon became the most embarrassing thing of my life. I worked at a supermarket, and with everyone's boring lives, it soon became the talk of everything and really made me struggle mentally. Key things I'll add before I explain why I took revenge out on him. My boss was in his mid-40s, married with children, and would boast about cheating on his wife to the work boys, with the way he would describe his main tactics as trauma bonding. My girlfriend had BPD and was easily manipulated and persuaded by him to receive fake promises and promise to faster promotion. We are both 20 to 21. So basically, I set up a fake Facebook profile and acted on it for a week or two before I joined the local community page doing posts and responding to comments he was interacting with. I made it out like I was a newly single mom and new to the area. After 1 month before getting his attention, I slid into his DMs and started messaging him and flirty with him. I already knew a lot about him in terms of hobbies, interests, and sporting teams, so I made everything easily relatable to form a strong, trusting connection. I had him hooked. I had him moved over to Snapchat and started catfishing him with photos from online. In exchange, he started sending me nude photos exposing it all. I saved them all in my chat and left them there to build that trust. I also let HM do the same to the photos I sent. After I had enough to ruin him late, I changed my username and name on both platforms to a younger female staff member who used to work at the shop and screenshotted everything. I saved over 20 photos of what he was sending me and lodged a complaint with HR for the company. I even faked a Gmail email to make the user more believable, and when they called me on the phone, I had a female friend take the phone so it sounded very legit. Work for a large company, so you have the option not to do it in person. I also sent the screenshots of our messages and sent the nude photos of him cheating and sent them to his wife, his mom, and his sister. I truly wanted to ruin this man. I wasn't done then. I printed a bunch of posters with Best Chewbacca Impersonation wins $100 with his phone number listed below. I couldn't imagine how many phone calls he would have received. Anyways, to date, I have been told he currently has been terminated from the job from people inside the shop, and that he is also judging off the conversation with his wife on FB. She has kicked him out. I do not feel one bit of guilt at all. Maybe I'm psychotic, but nothing can describe the pure hatred I have for that man. As for my ex, she tried to get back with me, but I have left her in the dark, and I'm much happier without her. I won't be seeking any revenge on her. Am I wrong to decline to do what my wife wished to keep my family together? Current situation, I'm with my wife, and we have 3 kids. We've been in therapy on and off, and I know my wife is mentally abusive to me. We are on a month-long vacation in Asia. During this trip, I have done everything I can to keep things peaceful. I don't look up most of the time as she will accuse me of checking out girls. I don't go explore anywhere on my own or hold any money as she will accuse me of doing something wrong toward her. Yet she was still unhappy a lot of time, even though I'm taking care of the kids most of the time, or my mother who went with us does. Even if I'm tired, I try to give her a massage on her feet and legs at night on lots of night, and still she would comment how I was not good enough or not doing enough or not good enough in some way. Thing come to a blow up after she yelled at me constantly while we at Disney. I was in line with the kids as they do not allow our youngest to go on a ride without an adult. And since she can't keep an eye on me, she call and cuss me out and accuse me of not looking down at my phone and looking around at the girl. I have repeatedly told her that is not the case and I'm just hanging out with the kids. As I'm not able to continue to take the drama, I told her I will just go with the kids and finish the day and go to our hotel and leave for another hotels. Fast forward a couple days, we are supposed to go to another city. She reached out and asked that we finish the trip together and to meet at the airport. On the airplane, she wanted to talk to me, and first thing was she asking about what I was searching on my phone and on my laptop that I use for work. I told her again she is being abusive, and I use my phone for what I need to do and my laptop for my work. She then wished my happy Father's Day and asked how we can save this relationship. I told her I don't think it possible to continue as she keep making promise to stop doing these things to me. After she keep asking me, do I want to continue this relationship? I told her I do not want to as I don't want to be abused like this continuously. She starts to cry with our youngest sitting with her on the airplane. I told her we rent 2 rooms, and she can have one of the room with our youngest, and I will be with my mom and the 2 older one in another room, complicated custody thing. All this was happening while the airplane was going to the gate after landing. She told me she doesn't want anything. I offered to get them their own taxi to the hotel, and we will take the train as it was cheaper. Again, she declines. We take the train to our hotels, as she did not want to go with us. Then she texts me and say that she demands I come back to the airport and kneel and apologize as I humiliated her. I told her I declined to do that as I didn't do anything to humiliate her. I just wanted to leave an abusive situation/relationship. I then offer again that she should take the taxi and go to the hotel's room and we don't have to run into each other. Only then I found out she had disabled the one credit card and debit card I brought on the trip for use. So for the last 2 days, she's been telling me she will change to keep the family together, but I need to kneel in front of her with my kids and mom present so she can have a face in front of them. I'm refusing to do it as I do not think I'm doing anything wrong. I even borrow my mom credit card to go talk to her because she demanded that I must go to talk in person. I even explained to her that to me is very abusive. However, she is still saying that I humiliated her and that she needs me to do something for her to go through with her promise to change and go to therapy. Am I in the wrong to refuse to kneel in front of her with my kids and mom there to witness it? You are not wrong. She is being manipulative and gaslighting the shit out of you. She does not care how you feel. She just wants to save face. Hence her wanting to keep the relationship together despite her never changing. She will never change. The fact that she disables your cards because she's upset says a lot. She is acting like a toddler, and quite frankly, you should send her home and keep the kids with your mom. Cut her off from being able to manage your money or any financial obligations. Take screenshots and video so you can prove character when filling for full custody. Do not tip her off that you are done until you secured your exit strategy. Girlfriend of 15 years cheated on me with my best friend.
My girlfriend is jobless and was staying with me. We met with this guy several times IRL. Him and I quickly became bro, and everything went down when I noticed my girl is giving me cold shoulder. Caught them texting day and night and finally confronted her. She admitted they were having an affair, not physically, but promised to end it. Can't believe she did this to me. I sponsored her studies, her trips, her daily necessities, and everything. I truly loved her with all of my heart. It hurts so bad that I cried myself to sleep, cried while commuting to work, hid in my office locker to cry for at least the first 3 months. My whole world revolves around her. By the way, the dude got a wife and kid. I did not expose him for the sake of the kid. It's been 6 months now, and they are still playing the game together even though she assured me that they were just friends. For the past 6 months, I was tortured by sleepless night and random anxiety attacks, while she can sleep soundly next to me. I can't help but keep suspecting there is something happening behind my back, especially now that my girlfriend moved back to her parents 500 kilometers away to start a new job. I can't sleep every night thinking she must be cheating on me. It never felt the same ever again. We both are just pretending everything is fine. Unsure if I should end it all or hoping someday our bond will recover. Samaritan N. The affair's still ongoing 100%. The disrespect and humiliation still ongoing 100%. They aren't just friends, it's ridiculous and disrespectful. Why you didn't ask for no contact? Still being in contact is such a disrespect and is absolute no sense for any reconciliation. You aren't in reconciliation. By the way, tell the wife of that POS please. She deserves to know. Did your ex-girlfriend and ex-best friend try to tell you to not say a thing because it will hurt his family and she will be angry and there will be no more reconciliation, yada yada? Please tell that poor woman the truth. Edit. And yeah, you need to end that miserable relationship you are stuck in.
My girlfriend slept with her BFF's boyfriend. When I asked for her to be accountable, she started sleeping with another guy. Now he's out of the picture and I've decided to give her another shot. Part 2. Hello everyone, I'm not Doug. I am his old roommate Pete, 46M. Doug was arrested today. He lost his phone during the scuffle, and I picked it up. As he was being drug off, he kept ranting for me to update his followers. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about at first, but then I saw the notification from user BL asking for an update. I'm pretty familiar with Reddit, so I got on his account and read his first post. I have to say that is one distorted version of events. So before I update everyone on Doug, I want to tell you all what really happened. I was friends with everyone involved. Good friends with both Doug and Josh. I've heard this story from everyone but Denise herself. Jessica, however, heard all of her perspective. It's true that this all started with a conversation about regrets. However, Doug was definitely dumb and ballsy to say he wanted to sleep with his girlfriend's best friend. Back then, we were all 22, 23 years old, and Denise was young, naive, and in love with Doug. She really thought, with the pressure from Doug, that if he just got it out of his system, he would be fine. Then they would get married, have kids, and live happily ever after. She hated the idea of him being with someone else. Although she found the choice of Jessica more reassuring, as she totally trusted Jess and knew they would tell each other everything. It was still hard for her. She spent weeks trying to show Doug that, and he just couldn't or wouldn't listen. He was just so determined to be with Jess. Josh and Jess really were looking to do something spicy before graduating. I got a lot of the intimate details of this whole disaster from Josh and some from Jessica. Josh and I are still good friends today and see each other a few times a year. He told me they figure they just try and organize a threesome or something with somebody. But when Denise asked Jess if she would be interested in helping Doug get it out of his system, Josh had his idea for the swap. Denise took this to Doug hoping he would just want to end it because she was now also going to be with someone. When he made his statement of it being an easy price to pay, he broke Denise. Only she didn't fall apart. She got angry. She decided if that's what he wanted, well, two can play the game. Everyone but Doug had just planned on picking a night, everyone being at the girl's apartment, and basically the guys would just go to the opposite bedroom, and that would be it. Then Doug suggested the weekend thing. Everyone else was hesitant, but Denise said it would be fine, and at this point Josh and Jess told me they felt they were just along for the ride. It was after that weekend that things got bad. I knew something was up with Doug. He was acting weird, like he had some secret he wanted to tell. I knew it was killing him to not share. Later on, I did get the details. I also got the basic details from Josh. I remember in the days that followed, it seemed like Doug was holding something over Denise's head. As you read in Doug's first post, he was desperate to tell Denise all the experiences he had during his weekend with Jess. He wanted to brag, and that blew up in his face. See, Jess, while intrigued at the idea of what they were doing, was also pretty pissed at Doug for the way he was treating Denise through all this. When the ladies talked beforehand, Jess had told Denise that Doug wouldn't be getting her best. On the other side, Denise asked if it was okay if she were unhinged during, and Jess told her absolutely, show Josh a time he won't forget. A TMI warning, as the next part is going to be a little graphic, but I'll clean it up as best as I can. So I know from hearing this from both guys that Doug and Jess did have sex 4 or 5 times over the weekend. She made him use protection, things like oral were just for foreplay, etc. They apparently spent most of the time marathoning shows on DVD. Now from Doug's perspective, this was the greatest weekend ever, until he heard Denise's story and got it verified by Josh. See, Denise basically spent the entire time from arrival until she left completely undressed. They used no protection, and she was down for whatever he wanted. Josh said they marathoned each other most of the weekend. When Doug hears this, he just broke, but he manifested it by being even more of an asshole. The writing was on the wall, but the breakup drug out over another month. He was right, though. Soon as Denise was on the market, everyone shot their shot. She only had eyes for one other guy, though, and they started dating like 2 months after the breakup. He was a good-looking guy, post-grad student on his way to being an optometrist. Denise and him got married 3 years later. I was there. Had 3 kids together, 17M, 14F, 12F. I wasn't there, lol. Doug ended up getting married 2 times, and they both ended in divorce within 5 years. He never got over Denise. It wasn't that these women were jealous. It was Doug's unhealthy obsession with his college girlfriend. That leads us to the horrific circumstances of today. When Doug says she is single, what he means is she is widowed. Denise just lost her husband of 19 years after a long battle with colon cancer. Today was the funeral. That's the place he knew she would be at. I saw everything happen. It was so fast yet seemed like slow motion. Doug came out of nowhere right after Denise's husband was lowered into the ground. He was manic, basically yelling Denise at her. She was obviously surprised and suspicious. He was talking so fast about how they could be together again now that this loser was out of the way. Denise got upset and turned to walk away, but Doug grabbed her arm. She tried to pull away, but he had a grip on her. Some of the other men, Josh included, moved to intervene, but just as quick, Denise's son came across with a right hook to the jaw that dropped Doug. He tried to pop back up, but by that point, the other men had pounced on him. He became belligerent, ranting expletives and insults at everyone. The cops came and hauled him off. Every witness statement said the same thing. Doug came out of nowhere, attacked Denise, and she was defended by her son. It's a sad end for Doug. I can't excuse any aspect of his behavior today, or over the last 20-plus years. I'm sure there are a lot of you wondering what she ever saw in him, or how I could to be his roommate. Well, he wasn't always like this. Today, terms like red pill, alpha/beta incel are pretty common, but they aren't anything new. They just have more platforms. Back then it was chat rooms. Those chat rooms lead a pretty decent guy to a path of entitlement towards the woman he loved. When he lost that as a consequence of that entitlement, it only drove him deeper into the rabbit hole, culminating in today's pathetic display. I just hope he gets the help he needs. Edit. Been getting a lot of DMs about what happened to Jess and Josh after the whole swapping thing. Their relationship went on relatively unscathed. They were married about 18 months later. I was a groomsman, Denise was MOH. They have 2 kids that are in their late teens now. Unfortunately, they divorced about 12 years ago. Josh said they just kind of lost their connection. They divorced amicably and co-parented very well. They were able to become good friends after the divorce. Josh has a long-term girlfriend he lives with. Jess got remarried 2 to 3 years ago. Denise was OH again.